Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to pitch today. I'll be discussing a novel surgical assist arm that I've developed to help ease and make more efficient fracture reduction or fixing broken bones. I'm a professor and orthopedic surgeon here at UCLA and also serve as the residency program director. The work today has been funded by the seed funding from the Innovation Fund, and I've benefited as well from the entrepreneurial expertise of the team there and at Startup UCLA's Faculty Innovation Fellowship. The clinical problem we were trying to address is one of the most fundamental in orthopedic surgery, which is to line up broken bones so we can fix them. You might be surprised how we do this today, which is simply through the manual manipulation or pushing or pulling on the leg or arm, which is imprecise, relies on the strength of the surgeon, is subject to fatigue, and also exposes the patient and operative team to excess radiation when it's really not necessary. There's an old saying in orthopedic surgery, you have to be as strong as an ox and almost as smart. You can see here that some of the techniques we currently use are fairly primitive. Sometimes we'll simply take a mallet and push on the leg or prop the leg up with a crutch. It's always surprising to me that someone thought these techniques were sophisticated enough to draw a line diagram and include them in an operative textbook. Other times we'll just wrap a leg around the towel, wrap a towel around the leg and pull, or sometimes we'll take a closed fracture and make it open or compound by making incisions so we can put a hook and grab the bone, even for just simply slightly better alignment. This clinical need has bothered me ever since I was a resident 20 plus years ago. I've always wanted to find some way to do this in a way that was simple and elegant, precise, stable, and very importantly in this healthcare climate, inexpensive and ideally cost saving. One of the techniques that we commonly use to put a pin in each of the bone fragments and pull or joystick this. While this is an improvement, it requires two operators and again, still relies on the strength and endurance of the operator. In looking for solutions to this, I came across these small commodity product surgical arms that are mechanical that can hold the pins for me. I tested this concept out in cadavers and eventually in OR and RRB approval and saw that this had some potential. The problem is that the locking of the arms is manual and really isn't feasible in the operating room. I took this concept into my backyard, ordered some motors and an Arduino and tested out a motorized automated locking solution. And eventually took this again to cadavers and found this was a really good approach. Where we are now with the technology development, we're taking that prototype concept and developing this with the product design consultant, Zymetica. we expect to have a prototype complete and ready for IRB use in the OR for clinical trial by the end of next month. Our go-to-market strategy is to provide clinical validation through IRB study and testing this out in actual cases here at UCLA. We'd like to eventually prove out the concept with demonstrating items such as the savings in time in surgery, decreased radiation exposure, and also excellent clinical outcomes. I think the market potential of this is vast. An initial study that I published a few years ago indicated that the number of long bone fractures annually in the United States is probably upwards of 50,000 per year, extrapolating from California. Using these numbers, we did a preliminary market analysis of just fractures and found that there's a $45 million beachhead total addressable market looking at level 1 and level 2 trauma centers, and we expect this to be multiples of this globally. Our plan is to found a startup to further develop the product into functional products, license this, and contract and eventually take this to market. There are competitors on the market that I think more than anything demonstrate the interest in this type of armature. The current technology really doesn't have this right holding power or sterilizability to be feasible for the applications that we're talking about. Eventually, if you develop a low-cost, efficient solution to this armature, I do think the market is several times larger than what we've discussed, as there are similar applications in a variety of surgical specialties. Currently, intellectual property is being prosecuted by UCLA with our patent application currently submitted. We anticipate that this will be a FDA Class 1 exempt device based on predicate products as an operating room accessory. Our reimbursement strategy really relies on the tremendous value we provide to the hospital in terms of and keeping the price point low. We anticipate that armatures would be in the range of $15,000, which is not a large capital expense for a hospital, and that we would rely on the razor blade approach and disposables of $150 to $250 per case. And again, we have a strong argument that this actually is cost savings. Currently, when we fix fractures, we have to use this complicated table that takes sophisticated personnel and time to set up, decreases the ability to complete cases in the OR, increases the need for costly personnel. And this would actually be something we would eliminate. And so I think we have a very strong value proposition to the hospitals who are ultimately the end purchasers. Currently, our requirement is additional funding for transfer to manufacturing of our clinical prototype, as well as FDA approval consultation. And this is what we're seeking at this time. Thank you again to all the folks at the Innovation Fund and the Faculty Innovation Fellowship. I look forward to developing this product for the market.